Before we start quickly, I'm going to plug some merch. Not my merch. This is someone who helped me during the process of this video in casting Cyclops, because I had a little bit of trouble. They know more about Cyclops than I think anyone I know. Even Scott Summers himself. They sell these amazing, cute little Wolverine pins. I'm going to buy one next week when I get paid. So yeah, please go check them out. I've linked them down below. It's absolutely worth it. Alright. Disney is becoming the largest entertainment company on the planet. They already have Marvel and Lucasfilm. Now they're in the process of purchasing 20th Century Fox, which is going to give them a ton more properties to play with. I mean, I'm assuming this is all for their streaming services because now they can have every single episode of The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, Family Guy. Disney owns Family Guy. It's so weird. The caveat to all this is that the Fox-owned Marvel properties are back in the hands of Kevin Feige and the MCU. Kevin Feige's no stranger to X-Men movies. He's actually been involved with almost every single Marvel movie ever made. Some more than others. He really knows his stuff. Today, I'm going to fancast an X-Men movie I personally would want to see.
I say one movie.
I've kind of thought a little bit further than that. I'll explain later. I get the idea that they're probably just going to go ahead and do a First Class-esque movie with this, in terms of just going back to the beginning and starting it from there. So I'm assuming that's probably what we're going to end up with the original 5. But hey, wouldn't it be fun if the X-Men were older? I'm going to go through some plot details quickly before I get onto the casting part of this video. So, my ideal X-Men villain, I think, would be Cassandra Nova for this movie. Someone we haven't seen yet. She's pretty much the antithesis of Charles Xavier. The opposite. Like a dark version of Xavier. I'm not putting Xavier in my movie, because I feel like we've just seen that so much. I'm not putting The Mansion either, but I'll get to that in a sec. Cassandra is such a good choice in a movie where there is no Xavier and it's just the X-Men on their own, and I think Cassandra would be an excellent villain for an X-Men team without Xavier to come into contact with. As I mentioned before, I'm going to be taking them away from the Mansion. I'm going to put them on Genosha. My Genosha is a mutant refuge island where any mutant that's been rejected by society is taken there. They can obviously track them through Cerebro. However, in the MCU, I'm going to say mutants aren't common, and that they're actually extremely rare. I'm going to say maybe under 1,000 mutants live on that island, and they live peacefully. I'm not going to try and justify why the X-Men haven't shown up yet in the MCU, because I don't really think it matters that much. We don't really have to know everything that's going on in this universe, and there can be things happening behind the scenes. A common theme in the X-Men comics is that even though they save the world just as many times, if not more than the Avengers, they're never given anywhere near as much credit. So you can even just use that as your excuse if you need one. I would have this movie end with Genosha being revealed as a mutant itself, maybe Krakoa from Giant Size X-Men. Could be wrong there, might not be that one. And pretty much have the mutant population decimated by this. Similar to Cassandra's first appearance in New X-Men, I would have Krakoa be maybe dormant, but Cassandra wakes him at the end of the movie, and it's a rush between the X-Men fighting it and also trying to rescue as many mutants as possible, leaving with only a fraction of what they had before. They would then head to Sanctuary City, San Francisco, and kind of regroup and figure out what just the future of the mutant race. That would then ideally lead into an Avengers X-Men movie. This would then lead into another X-Men movie, which maybe the government creates giant robots to regulate these mutants.
But we know that's not how it goes.
So, who am I going to cast in this movie? I'm having 4 younger X-Men and 4 older X-Men. I'll start with the young ones. For Kitty Pryde, I'm going to go with Odeya Rush. She was great in Lady Bird last year, and on top of that, she's the perfect age to give us the definitive Kitty Pryde. She's able to convey sweetness and sass, and she's Jewish, which is great, because Kitty Pryde is Jewish, and it's so often that you don't see Jewish characters being played by Jewish actors. Ruby Rose. For Hisako Ichiki, I'm going to cast Nana Komatsu. She's great. She's an actor-turned-model who recently was in Martin Scorsese's Silence movie. I think she's absolutely ready for a big break like this. I can just immediately picture her as Armor when I see her. Armor, if you don't know, is a mutant who has the ability to create a psionic armor around her body, which is impenetrable and gives her enhanced superhuman strength, reflexes, etc., etc. It's mind-boggling that a mutant with a power this cinematic hasn't been seen on screen yet. For Kid Omega, Quentin Quire, I'm going to cast Karen Bra. He was recently in Pacific Rim Uprising. He's great. As soon as you see him, you get shades of Quentin in the way he speaks and the way he looks. I think he can really capture the kind of cockiness and personality of Quentin, who he just jumps off the page when you read a comic that he's in. I think it's way past time that he's included in one of these movies. This is a great opportunity for him to do so. I'm also putting Darwin in this movie, played by Caleb McLaughlin. Darwin, his power is so visually interesting, and we got just glimpses of it in X-Men First Class before they killed him. So I'm putting him in this movie. He's probably going to be the youngest of the young X-Men. However, I think Caleb McLaughlin, who is one of the best actors in Stranger Things, could really knock this character out of the park and give him a great screen presence. So, the older X-Men. So first I'm going with Jodie Turner-Smith as Storm. I think she's just so perfect for Storm. She would be the most comic accurate Storm we've got so far. As soon as I saw Jodie, I knew she had to be Aurora. She has this regal essence to her and that
Freaking jawline, man.
And who knows, with T'Challa in the MCU...
Maybe something can happen, maybe I'm overstepping, I'm just gonna move on to the next one.
This has been in my head for years. I cannot tell you how happy I finally am to be doing something with it. Beast, as played by Jeffrey Wright. You just need to watch Westworld to understand the pure intelligence that this man can convey in his voice, along with just this tinge of arrogance.
What do you want, Dolores?
It was just pitch perfect for Hank McCoy. We've never really seen Hank overstep. We got kind of glimpses of that in X-Men First Class, like I said, but otherwise he's just been played as the smart one. For Jean Grey, the team leader, I'm going to go with Evan Rachel Wood. It's not really groundbreaking casting, because as soon as you see Evan Rachel Wood as a redhead, it's just kind of like,
oh shit, of course.
We haven't really got a sense of Jean's character beyond her abilities in these movies. I really want to convey her as intelligent, brave, completely capable. She's completely in control of her powers, no Phoenix bullshit here yet. Last but not least, Cyclops, Alfie Enoch. It just fits so well. If you watch How to Get Away with Murder, you get this kind of Boy Scout vibe from him. Whereas he can also just switch and be serious in a moment's notice. That seems like Scott to me. He's got Scott's neck as well, so that kind of helps. He's a great actor. Scott, more than anyone in these movies, absolutely deserves to be done well. It's just justice at this point. Scott is one of the most interesting X-Men characters. He's one of my favorite comic book characters. It's just so disheartening to see how he was treated in those last movies. Like, in X-Men 2, he's captured the whole time, only to get out and watch Jean die. Then he's killed in the third movie. Like, it's also, they could put Wolverine sense... Okay, I'm not getting into it. My point is, I want to show Scott for the smart, capable tactician he is. He may not be team leader, but he's happy to be Jean's second in command. So anyway, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I really want to hear what your guys' thoughts on this especially are, because we just have no idea what the MCU X-Men are going to look like at this point. So yeah, let me know. If I get enough comments, I might do a video replying to them. That would be cool. If you think I'm good at this, maybe leave a request for what I could do next. I'm thinking about Green Lantern Corps. Check out those pins down below. Really, if even one person buys one from watching this video, it would be really good. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.